newcomers for this year? Raise your hand. Okay, we got a few newcomers, about 10, 15. How about people who've come for 2 years? Raise your hand.
Radio check.
Yeah. Where you at?
So 9 years. These two right here. Who was another one? Oh no, just 2 9 years.
Red Clay Rally is a time distance format, which requires you to not necessarily be the fastest team, but to be the most accurate team. When you hit each checkpoint that the mappers designated, you have to hit it at the time that they did, minus any stoppage time where they might have been hanging out or taking breaks. This year, Team Abducted brought 4 rigs.
Cool wheeling spots without driving through the brush.
Try and make the best out of it.
It's gonna be crazy. We got the whole rally on the side of the mountain. Fire on the side of the mountain.
Squeeze between the trees. You try not to lean against. Got a back rider.
This year's camp situation was quite pleasant at Leatherwood Off-Road in Kentucky, where we had 2 large lots that we could just kind of take over with our equipment and stay put for 3 days. And they also had portable bathrooms, so we had amenities to take advantage of. We got a great surprise on our first night at camp from Team 37. They brought 3 homemade pizzas of 27 that they made with a pizza oven. They won at last year's rally for their best campsite award, and they won it again this year. Our rally start began with the bonus event for time, and it was on some hard tracks that covered approximately 4 miles of Leatherwood. And you had to take 2 of your best vehicles, and you were competing for best time against everyone else. We decided to take Max's FJ and 2's 4Runner because they were the beefiest on our team. Parts of this course would be sections that we would hit again on future days, and a lot of people ended up having to winch through these sections. So in order for us to get the fastest time, our guys would need to clear these zones without winching.
Through the road, through the road.
Yeah, my arms are just twitching right now.
Holy shit.
When you're used to being able to take your time on obstacles, going as fast and as hard as you can is extremely nerve-wracking. We ended up getting a time of 12 minutes and 45 seconds, with the next fastest team doing that course in 26 minutes. After some time to settle our nerves, we had a few hours to prepare for our afternoon departure. And we were geared up with maps ready to go to take on our evening ride. The trail started pretty easy as we entered one section of the park, but it very quickly turned into a very difficult situation as we had some slick downhills.
There you go, there. Oh, there you go. You're about to hit slider. Holy shit. You're good, you're good.
I had a couple abusive moments on my wheels that I didn't realize were so damaging until this mud hole here where I busted a rim and got a flat.
Woo. I have chocks, dude. What the fuck? In 5 minutes on the road. Woo!
This tire change was done by our team in less than 4 minutes. Everyone just jumped into action, and it was quite incredible, actually. Just felt like I had to go hard on the mud hole. It looked deep.
A little too hard in the mud hole, huh?
It looked deep, and there were rocks underneath it. Lo and behold.
And what happened?
I bent the shit out of a rim, and we had to go on the spare.
Instantaneous.
We're
TB?
2 hours into a 3-day rally, and I'm down a spare. Regret, instant regret.
Oh, this is great.
Leatherwood Off-Road Park covers about 50,000 acres of Kentucky's wilderness, and at the moment they have about 250 miles of trails that are mapped out that you can explore. It's really lush in this area because we are part of the Appalachian Mountains, which is a very moist environment. A benefit of having a slower paced rally is being able to take a lot of breaks along the way to enjoy the scene, or as Max does, clean your windows. It didn't get quite dark enough for our lights to go into full action, but it was getting dark since it was our evening run.
Go, straight, over,
And we had to navigate our way back with waning sunlight. Once we were back at camp, 2 was quick to start a fire, and thanks to our sponsor Alpicool, we were able to load up fridges with tons of beer and plenty of food. And Max got to cook in one of our meals for the night, and he spared no expense for us. Because it's a multi-day rally, it was really important to try to get that spare tire fixed. So a couple of the guys got together and bent back the rim, cleaned out the bead, and using my Morphlate air inflator, shout out to Morphlate for sponsoring Abducted, we were able to reseat the tire.
You guys can hear my toothbrush.
The night ended with a light show that turned into a heavy downpour, which started off my morning with needing to use my diesel heater to dry one of my boots off. Our second day departure started first thing in the morning, and we were just ready to get after it. Our whole team loved the casual start. We had a rainy day the second day, and
This way, and then down to the left.
quickly came across
Straight to that tree.
a very, very scary
A little more passenger.
downhill slope
More
through
passenger.
the trees that
Okay, you're good.
I struggled with the
Are we
power
gonna
steering,
driver?
but also just being slick. You had to pump the brakes the entire time and just try not to lock up and slide down this little hill.
Fuck. You're good. Great work.
Careful coming down around the tree. That shit is slippery as fuck.
Oh shit, right here,
Getting
dude?
worse the further down. You got that hairpin. Jesus. Alright, start coming driver.
It's these highly strenuous
That's it.
parts
That's it.
of trail rides that
You're
are
good.
both mentally and physically
got it.
taxing. And you do need some time to be able to recover.
Feel like a hot.
Do you want a paper towel?
We ended up having a couple more climbs in the morning that ended up requiring some winching. We eventually got to a mandatory 20-minute checkpoint at a waterfall, and so I took that time to try and see if I could address a clunk that I was hearing. What I ended up coming across was trying to start up my truck and having no ability to start up the truck. 2, our master tech decided to try and diagnose it. The rain was kicking up and we were running out of ideas, but he realized that my serpentine belt wasn't spinning. And it made sense when I had been complaining about my power steering not working, because the power steering pump had seized up and that pulley was no longer spinning. After opening it up to look inside, you could see that some gears were broken, and that's why nothing was moving anymore. This was a no-go for the rally. We lost a lot of time here, an hour and a half just to get to this point, and we needed a fix. The guys ended up just gutting that power steering pump and driving the truck back to camp without power steering with a free spinning pulley that was just used as a bearing. I, on the other hand, drove 2.5 hours away to a Toyota using Max's truck and bought a new power steering pump. And I brought it back to camp where 2 was ready to swap this new piece of hardware in and get my truck back up and running. Huge shout out to 2. He did amazing work getting my truck back online for the rally and to get home. And this is just a beautiful highlight of how amazing Max's FJ was. It drives better on the street than you would think for being as big and as bad as that thing is. Going into day 3, we knew that we were pretty much out of the game with our penalties. So we had a good breakfast and, well, a good breakfast. And we geared up to have a fun, beautiful last day of the rally. We got to take in the morning sunlight in some very beautiful valleys. We really got to see what Leatherwood had to offer. One of the trails that we passed by, we really thought about hitting. It was the only optional trail called Child's Play. But as wet as it was, the guys saw no way that this was going to be possible, even with our baddest rigs and our baddest drivers. Right? And then you...
Oh no, I already said hell no. Yeah, too slick. If it was dry, yeah. If it was dry, yeah. Hit it.
That's just gnarly.
After checking out some more of the scenery and having some scenic driving, we ended up coming across literally the entire rally stuck on a mountainside waiting for some teams to clear. One of our friends from Team Torx Fab, Patrick Burt, had his 4Runner roll 3 times off the trail in the days prior, so we got to get a good look at that 4Runner. It started right up once they flipped it over, but he has no more glass, and it's pretty banged up. So we're excited to see what that project truck looks like once he gets to work on it back home. But the place that people got stuck was this pretty slick hill climb that you had to turn a tight corner on and lay into. By the time we got to it, it was pretty well rutted out, so you had a track to ride through. And no one on our team seemed to have any struggle at all.
I think you want to put drivers out here and then come sharp right.
Just a few minutes after that hill climb,
Yeah.
we came across what Leatherwood now has dubbed
And then
Red
cut it
Clay
in.
Rally Hill, because we did this part of the course in last year's rally, and it was the main feature.
Yeah, you want to come wide.
For this year on this final day, as well as for the bonus track. So what you'll see, pay attention to Ashton's 3rd Gen 4Runner. When he
Yeah.
goes down here, you'll see he gets some air.
Cut
and
it
that's
over.
what a lot of vehicles ended up
Passenger,
having
passenger.
to go through
Follow that rut.
when they took this downhill. A little too narrow
Yep.
on their way out.
Tight words. Driver, come wider. Oh boy. You're a little narrow. Yeah. They both did it on the bonus. Hauling. Thanks, y'all. Have a good day.
Not flowers. We need to get some flowers. We need to get some purples, dude.
Okay. Oh, you want some of those purpley?
I'll get you one.
The rest of the ride back to camp was very casual, and honestly was one of my favorite parts of the whole rally. There was nothing really challenging, but we could cruise through the woods, have our music blaring, and take our time making our way back to camp. There's a couple cool little downhills and some cool checkpointer check-ins.
I knew you were there. I heard them all back there.
Yeah.
Hey, I've been working on my bouquet. You like that, huh?
Really nice.
How
How
you doing today?
I'm good. I'm gonna get your flowers.
Pretty up there.
Man, these guys really...
We got our bouquet going. Decorated our shit.
There you go. That's a great one. Oh, we got somebody coming up.
In the last part of our track C, we got to interact with some friends of ours from Twerks Fab as we took turns passing each other, keeping on our own mapped pace. So it was good to see them, and they were in a good mood as well. So it's just good times had by all, and honestly, that's one of the fun parts about the rally is when you can interact with the other teams. We did end up having a little bit of a quiet ride home. Although we were enjoying the day, we had some team-inflicted trail damage. There's a little too much playing around, and Max and Ashton kind of went bumper to bumper, and, well, Ashton slid up, or Max's FJ slid up above Ashton's bumper and crunched in his rear hatch. So it was quiet on the radio for a while, but we all knew it was going to be taken care of. So we just made it back to camp and, you know, shook that off, and just we're happy to have spent the time together. What has now become a tradition that we've established, our team hit up a nearby town called Pineville, which was this pretty little square. Pretty much the only thing open was this Mexican restaurant that had free bean dip on Sundays. So we got our tall beers and ate a bunch of baskets of chips and just ate to our heart's content before we got ready for our long drive home.